Well, it's Tuesday, and this is Call from the Deep, session 29. You believe it's 29 sessions already, guys? 29. We only made it to 36 in Descent into Avernus, right? Seemed like that one
We're
was.
level higher.
Yeah. What level are you guys now?
8.
Eighth? Yeah, you're getting there. You're getting there. So, how is everybody? Uh-oh, Marbania's hosting me. Yay! Is
Doing good,
everybody
doing better.
surviving the week
So what
so
is
far?
Discord
So far,
choppy for anybody else? Or just me.
Just,
No,
I
it's
don't
fine
know.
for me.
sounds like
Seems okay to me. Voice
All
meter.
right. So
Banana.
no,
Banana.
it's not like when banana freaks when my banana freaks out. It's not quite the same, man.
It's not the same.
I
So,
got a potato.
a potato. A potato. So, you guys remember what happened last week? You guys were, like, holy shit, we're part of this somehow. Somebody's planning something for us and we don't know.
Oh
Is it
yeah,
an
Airship.
So, yeah, so you guys are like, let's go to Waterdeep. Let's figure out what the
let's
hell's
get the hell
going
out
on.
of here.
What
Yeah.
the? We're chasing pearls around. What the hell? We got a ship that could fly. Let's go to Waterdeep. It's not ready yet, but all right. So 10 days. So you guys pretty much sailed out of Neverwinter, sailed all the way down to Mintar, then sailed across, and then sailed back to Waterdeep. So you did a big L. You're like the knight in the chessboard, a little L shape there, and and you arrive in Waterdeep. But as you guys see, the Waterdeep, the Castle Waterdeep up on the hill, and all the fancy homes up there, and you guys are pulling into the harbor of Waterdeep. What are your characters like? What are their thought processes that have been going on the past few days? What are they talking about in their cabin down below? What's the discussion like? Like we're going to Waterdeep, and we're going to.
Prepare for war would be the cleric of Tempest. He would be preaching to the rest of the crew. We are preparing for war
Yeah, who's the war with?
with the squid heads.
The Kraken? The Kraken?
Yeah.
So you know that one of the players is the Kraken Society, right? So
Aye.
what about Scuzzer? I mean, he's a pirate. He knows there's a lot. I mean, he's never seen this many freaking pirates. It's like he thought he was like a minority, but now he's like
The zombie city's still freaking him out.
the zombie city. Yeah, the Black Ice zombies. That's kind of weird. You guys, that you start questioning that thought, right? I mean, does anyone know anything? Does anybody character know anything? Would anybody's character know anything about Black Ice?
Black ice. I don't know. What would that be? A history check, maybe?
Well, let's think about your characters for a second. I mean, Black Ice originated up in Ten Towns, and it's kind of been trickling down the coast.
And I'm from Chult.
And you're from Cholt, and
Uh,
I think the only chance of any kind of knowledge is good old Scuzzer. I mean, if he stumbled into a library and fell on a book or something, he
Because they
might.
don't read.
That's what I'm saying. So now, what about Ember? You think he could have read a newspaper or something? Does he get the almanac, the daily almanac or something on the boat? Is there?
well, that's one of the reasons he's excited to get back to Waterdeep because he doesn't know about this, but he does know where to find information. So he's
Well,
gonna
this
start.
is something that's been going on for months now. It's not old news. So I'm sure
We
your
spent time
character.
in Neverwinter.
Yeah, well, you've been in and out of a couple of libraries and stuff. I think good old Ember probably would have picked up a newspaper or something. So give me a knowledge check. Let's see. Let's see if you just skimmed over or looked at the pictures. Yeah, you were looking at the pictures more than anything. So apparently, some kind of mineral called black ice has been dug up in Bryn Shander, and a bunch of dwarves went kind of bonkers. That's the kind of gist you got of it. It's supposedly bad stuff, so don't mine it. That's all you that's all you can bring out. You got a 13, so it wasn't marvelous. So yeah, you guys pull into Waterdeep. What about um Krell? What's his thoughts here? He's a
So
pirate hunter,
Krell,
and like his now he's got like plenty of work. I mean, there's no.
yeah, Krell he has two things on his mind. One is he really wants to find a safe way to return his niece or nephew's egg to his people, and he wants them to take an inland route to try and stay away from these pirates. And the other thing is he is excited to get out and start killing pirates. He has no mercy for them anymore.
I mean, he says that loudly. Scuzzer kind of starts working harder. I used to be a pirate, he says. I'm not a pirate anymore. I'm an adventurer. What about Nostagamus? What?
So
Retired.
the Nystagmus actually, he wants to get back and talk to Lord Neverember because he's assuming that's who commissioned this boat for us. And he's just a little annoyed. It seems a little bit presumptuous that we would just run off on whatever errand he wants us to go on for him. This seems like a cool boat, but what does he want us to do?
Yeah, what do you think? You were stupid? This astral sea? What? I can't swim in the astral sea. What the hell? He's all mad. His fin's all furled.
He's turning red. He's
Yeah. What about Ember? I mean, what's his deal? What's his thoughts? Does he just stay in his cabin reading and doesn't talk much, or?
Well, that used to be Ember, absolutely. But then after that month of almost boot camp for him, working out hard physically, like, getting used to this trident, and then in the evenings he was working out in the water, getting used to using the trident in water. He's now just finally not sore anymore from that time. So he sort of divides his time working up on the deck. He'll find a crew member or one of our party members to spar with, using that, keeping his trident skills. And then when he's not, he's back down. He's pretty much exhausted everything he could regarding the Illithids, the studies that he has on the Illithids. So now he's just been working on going through all his different spells that he's learned, picked up a lot of scrolls along the way. So just going through each spell.
So you make it
studying
like a
in
little
depth.
a binder that's alphabetized so he can find them faster.
That's right. And try to figure out, which one, talking to Nystagmus, who is the other magic user, and saying, we have this spell. What are some unique uses of this spell? And we brainstorm back and forth, trying to figure out
So,
how best to use our spells.
and this is a conversation that you have freely amongst the rest of the party members. This tactical communication about spells and stuff. So everyone in the party can look at each other's inventory since that's turned on, and freely make a player select. Hey, you remember we talked about that you got raised dead? Can you use that now on me, please? Stuff like that.
No.
Is okay. Your character goes, true love. And that's the sign for raised dead.
I'm saving it for later.
So that. Go
Oh,
ahead.
I have a quick question before we go get too much farther in. Can I have a card that I might want to just use now if I can?
Just throw this card out. Yeah.
No. Yeah. It's called Moment of Reflexes, and it says you gain advantage on your next dexterity or intelligence save. And it just says next, so I kind of assumed I could just use it now. And then just whenever I roll a dex or intelligence save, it's there.
Ha 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 ha.
You could code that if you'd like.
It's already coded.
Is it
I
nice?
didn't do it. It's just part of the card.
Was it you actually? It was coded already. And look at that. Hey Rob, if you're not watching, and you'll never watch this, but never mind. I won't even say it. It's a waste of breath. I was just gonna say you did a good job.
So yeah, I just wanted to confirm that that's how that was going to work, and I wasn't just going to waste it.
I think the best time to use that would have been just before we got off the table last week, though.
Yeah, I realized that later.
Then you could have got another card, and but that's cool. All right, so you guys sail into Waterdeep's port. Now, all of your characters have been here, but when you guys came here the last time, I think you got teleported into Waterdeep. You didn't come through the harbor, did you? So the Waterdeep harbor is a thing to behold. It is the biggest harbor and is pretty daggone secure. For a town of this size, Waterdeep has done their fair share of putting up walls. So, and when you guys pull into the harbor, you have never seen so much lumber in one place at one time. Just barges and barges and piles of lumber. Cranes moving lumber on the docks. You're like, what the hell is going on? Like all this lumber. They building ships? What the hell? And you guys, Captain Graysail shows the harbor people some information and papers and gives her her nice smile. That smile she's got. And you guys are taken over to the like the Castle Ward uh, docks, the where royalty gets to put their boats. Where the mega yachts and all the jet skis are running around out in the harbor, but you guys get to go where the big mega yachts are. Unfortunately, there's no free slips currently, so Voyage has to anchor kerbloosh in the harbor, and then you guys either get to row. Well, they break out all the jolly boats and they start shuttling stuff to shore, and pirates and to supplies and stuff is what their mission is. So you easily get on a jolly boat and make your way to shore. Now, before you get off the boat, do you guys want to have a discussion with Captain Graysail about anything?
I'd like to ask her about all the activity, the lumber and things that you pointed out, and she's obviously been here before. So is this normal activity for Neverwinter Docks
Uh,
or
she's like,
Waterdeep, I should say?
yeah, she's like, yes, I have seen situations like this in the past, but nothing to this extent. But Waterdeep is the biggest city on the Sword Coast, and it looks to me that they're building some palisades, should we say, or resupporting structures. That wood is not for shipbuilding. She points to like wood that's kind of curved and all rickety looking, just any kind of wood. And set up not too far into town, you guys can see cranes and stuff that are moving bundles of wood around and stuff. So, and you can hear saws running, which is a weird sound. You can hear that from a long way off, but like a noise. If any of your characters have heard a saw.
How are they powering them?
You're not sure how they particularly are powering them in the middle of the city. Traditionally, saws are powered by like a waterfall or monkeys running on a treadmill or something. But you don't know how. Maybe there's Maybe they got people running in circles. You don't know. As you guys, Captain Graycell asks, how much money can she spend on supplies? How much supplies does she need to get? Where are we going next? Do we know this yet? Probably not.
Here's 10 silver. Go have a night in the town.
She's like,
We'll load up at least
She's
30
like,
days worth, and then we'll
"Thanks."
let you know more.
Yes, sir. She says 30 days worth. So when Lia Margaga gets back from his Fallout ordeal, we will have him do that. 30 days worth of stuff. And all right, so you guys row ashore, and immediately as you get ashore, you are greeted by guards. These are not your dockward guards. These are palace guards.
Not the City Watch.
No, they're not the City Watch. You do see City Watch around, like looking like, what the hell are these agents doing in our turf? You know, like cops or, you know, when like the feds are doing some kind of sting, and then you see in the background all the freaking locals like looking around the buildings. That's kind of what you guys got. They're like all looking around the buildings, going, "What the hell's going on?" As the guards kind of motion as you guys come up to a chariot, a wagon, a covered wagon, a very nice 6 horses pulling a very large covered wagon, very stylish wagon. Um, and they say, the lady is expecting you.
There's a lot of ladies expecting us.
So Ember will get into the wagon.
Yeah, let's
Alright.
not keep her waiting.
So you guys get in. This wagon's nice. I mean, you like been on for the past 10 days, you've been pooping on a pot and you haven't really had a good shower, and you get in this wagon and you feel a little soul gluey on the couch, you know what I mean? You leave the stain.
Little grease stains.
Yeah. As
Can you hear me now?
Ember's going to use a little
Yeah.
prestidigitation to clean himself up a bit.
Yeah, so you start cleaning up the party. It's a good ride up to Castle Waterdeep. And the lady that the guards were referring to, I do believe you guys know as the Open Lord Lady Lariel Silverhand, which you have met and talked to and had tea with, I do believe. You remember this
Yes.
fine lady?
Mm-hmm.
Well, since that meeting, Ember has informed you that he did a little research on Mrs. Lady Silverhand, and her nice little 25-year-old little look there is more like a few centuries old.
More like 2,500.
Maybe not that many, but definitely been around. And so as you move through town, you do go by or like past a big alleyway, and in that alleyway there's a huge warehouse, and you can see inside the warehouse there is the lumber's going into it, and that's where it's getting milled into what look like palisades, or what's the pokey spear things when you're building fortifications called? Palisade? Is that right? You know what I'm
Yes.
talking about.
Palisade.
Yeah.
Big pokey things.
Yeah, so lots of pokey things. And so you guys make your way up to Castle Waterdeep. Let me just throw a little music on, make sure Sirenscape's working and stuff. All right, so Castle Waterdeep. You've been here. You know the routine. You actually kind of have rooms here now. I mean, the guards actually take you to the guest suite and let you into it. You know, it's like a whole branch that's got a bunch of rooms. Some of them are individual, some of them are, two-man, and some of them are common rooms. But plenty of rooms here enough that everybody could get their own room, or you guys could all have the same big-ass room if you wanted to. Everybody wants their own room.
Spend enough time in a room with these guys.
So as you come
Right.
in and the guards let you in the area, one of the servants that you see, Frez is his name. My name is Frez. The lady, she will see you for dinner. Now it's probably 1 o'clock by the time you get up to the keep and everything. She says, at dawn or at dusk in the main dining room. So please put some clothing that is appropriate for the lady, please. Anything you need cleaned, just leave out, and I'll have the servants clean it up for you. Looks at Squall.
I don't have any fine clothing, so maybe Squall needs to go to town and shop.
So, Waterdeep, boys. Pretty much whatever. You guys know you got 3 or 4 hours, so you can't like go all the way down to like, you know, the freaking High Flagland Ganlin house in the North Ward or anything like that. But you certainly could stick around the keep a little bit. And let me put on the tabletop view. There we go. Alright, so Waterdeep, and you guys are up in the Castle Ward currently. So, here's how it's going to work today for your shopping pleasure. How much money do you guys got to blow, roughly?
Lots.
Krell's got 19 gold.
Yeah, have you converted it all to platinum?
Well, 28 platinum, but most of it he's giving to Nystagmus.
Really?
He's
Yeah, he lent
self-sufficient.
me some important, much-needed gold
Oh.
back previously, and I'm paying him back.
So there's roughly 10,571 gold in the party sheet. Right? Total. Right? So what I'm going to do is you guys will have a total of 2,000 extra gold pieces each to spend in Waterdeep. Compliments of the Lord's Alliance.
Really?
Dang.
Oh, a new ship, $2,000 in spending money. You know, they've bought them some stoolies, haven't they?
However, you won't get that money until your meeting tomorrow. So, but you can start thinking on stuffs. But today, if you wanted to go shopping, would probably be for dinner, maybe, if you wanted to get some nicer clothing. However, the palace would provide that to you guys. You guys are enough that you could get clothing for the evening fitted, actually, at the palace. If you'd rather do that than go buy something. But if
I
you
can
want
make
the...
my armor look like fancy clothes. My
Yeah,
mountebank armor.
except it smells like sulfur the whole time and you're like...
Only when I dimension door.
No, it has a little like a match burnt smell as you walk by kind of smell. Like, did somebody light a match?
I've just been smoking outside. Let me alone.
So I have, and I'm gonna share this with you, but no one can buy anything yet. But I have something I made thanks to Matakiri. This is his new extension called Shops. And if I can find what I did with the... What did I do with it? I thought I made a nice little link right here. All right, let me look on the shops.
I just hadn't
All right,
noticed
here it
Miss
is.
Dagmas's effect, his moment of reflexes and a combat tracker under the effects. It's listed as Momwent, MOMWNT. Moment of reflexes.
Oh, nice. Mom went.
That's a lazy E. It's on its side.
Yes.
Just kicking back.
All right, so this is what is available in Waterdeep after you guys are going to be here for 2 days. So after 2 days of, wandering around Waterdeep and doing a significant amount of shopping, you guys come up with a list of magical items that are available for purchase in Waterdeep. Did that share with you guys?
Yep.
All right, so the way this works
man.
is one at a time. Now, this isn't going to happen right now, but it can as the night progresses. But one at a time, you guys will ask me for this shopping cart, and I will pass you the shopping cart, and you can purchase magical items by clicking on the arrow, and it will push it over to the shopping cart. Now, the reason you can't do it now is because only one person can buy the items. It doesn't know who's putting them in the cart. So whoever hits the buy button is the one that spends the money for it all. So that's why you got to do it one at a time. But and all that stuff's ID'd now. Today he released an extension because if I put all this stuff in there from the DMG, I would have to go click each item and click identify so you guys could see what they were. If not, it would say a pair of nice boots and that kind of stuff. So Matakiri added the little ID tag at the top, so I just click it once and it IDs everything in there. Bam!
Players can't see that, but it's there.
It's right next to the little lock button. And of course, when you hit the buy button, it's going to deduct the coins off of your character sheet and put the item in your inventories tab. So the only thing you guys have to do is you have to make sure you have the proper amount of coins in your treasury for it to work properly. Because if you have 1,000 platinum pieces and it costs 1 gold, it does not know how to make change. So you got to make change before you hit that buy button. Now, also, if you notice on your inventories tab, there is a coin converter. If you didn't notice that now. On your inventories tab, all the way down at the bottom, just above the treasure, is a button that says convert coins. And that is also Matakiri's extension that's been out for a couple weeks now, but I don't know if so you guys can make change and you don't have to do math.
I just converted everything to Electrum.
There you go. Break Matakiri's store. Just gonna break. Just gonna error out because it's all Electrum. No one uses Electrum. All right, that music's got to stop. I'm just turning it down. It's kind of cool music. No one said anything in the stream yet.
Apparently,
Oh,
the shop has -1 potions of climbing.
When it says -1, that means it's an infinite amount. That's the only code that you guys got to know is the -1 means you can get as many as you want.
So I have a question for the DM. Would we be able to use the scroll of counterspell as a reaction?
Yeah, man. You gotta have it out though. You gotta be walking around with it in your hand, like ready to go. But yeah, I would allow it. Why would you have a scroll of counterspell if you couldn't use it as a reaction? It's kind of silly.
So can I just tape it to my arm, and that way I can just look down at my arm and read it?
Like,
Quarterback.
like have it pull down on your arm. I think you could come up with some kind of little scroll tube that you've attached to your arm, and it's got a string on it like a blind, and you can go counterspell. It goes woof. That's the problem is when you have a scroll is I want to use it as a counterspell. Well, where is it? Oh, it's in my bag of holding. Well, that's a freaking action now, isn't it? I can't change the economy of D&D, but taking it out of a backpack now is not an action. So you could draw it out of your backpack on your turn. See, that's the kicker. You can only do those things on your turn, so pretty much got to have it out somehow. Maybe they're on your shades. It's a flip down. All right, so
How many
go ahead.
cloaks am I allowed to wear at one time?
You're allowed to wear as many as you want, but you can only have one of them attuned. Actually, I guess you could have 3 of them attuned.
No, the cloak of billowing doesn't require attunement.
I think you could get that in the cloak form or in the brooch form to make your existing cloak billow.
Oh, that's even better.
Right? I mean, it's such a mundane magical item that it's got to come as a brooch, right?
You mean it's the best magical item?
As a bonus action, you can billow. I think that would be perfect for the Mata Bank cape, but if Krell put it on, his armor would billow. Like a little smoke billow. All right, so you guys can ask me for that when we get to it. You guys, what about getting dressed? You guys got 4 hours. Anything you want to do in those 4 hours? There is a library here.
So Emperor will
It is a big palace.
requisition some better clothes, and then we'll go to the library and tell them to bring it to the library.
So you want the full detail undercarriage wash, armor all the windshield and dash, or Rain-X the windshield and armor all the dash, full package. Get fitted for clothing, and then you all will meet in the library for a drink.
He's just going to do some research. I don't know what the other rest of the group is doing.
Does that sound like something everybody else would like to do? Have the full
What's that?
service cleaning from the staff. Get
Oh
everything.
yeah.
Get the full royal cleaning and undercarriage washed and all that stuff. Toenails done, prettied up, clothes
fluffed.
fitted, and after that you find yourself in the library having drinks, and Ember's there.
Having drinks in the library?
Yes, they bring you whatever drink you like from the bar. By that time, it's like 4 o'clock, and dinner's at 5, so they're giving you a primer. Little hors d'oeuvres. And a matter of fact, as you guys are standing around, the entourage shows up. You're like, uh-oh. You know, you got the red the red stormtroopers. Dun, 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 dun. Except they're, you know, purple dragons. And coming in the door is none other than the lady herself. And she comes over to you and she says, "We heard you were heading this way yesterday, so I prepared rooms and things for you. I knew you would have questions. We've been monitoring your activity. Please enjoy the evening and have dinner. I have a business to tend to that came up, but I'll meet you immediately following dinner."
I thank her for her hospitality.
Graciously
says-
bow.
"The palace is an extension of my nobility, and my nobility is an extension of my friends." And she nods. And she leaves with her entourage. Dun, 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 dun. She goes down the hallway. Her whole little crowd follows her. And of course, you guys are treated like better than you did the last time you came here. Last time you were kind of in and out quick, but this time they got you. They got you for the night, anyways. And what is it that you guys want to do? You're going to have an enormous dinner, food, drinks in the palace, and you do see some people milling about the palace, not servants. Like you do see a guy that kinda slips your sights more often than you catch a glimpse of him, but he does have an adventurer type of look to him. He's got like heavier leathers on. He's got like a bow strapped over his shoulder and weapons. Kind of that rustic kind of look, like smells of the forest or something, smells of the elderberries kind of. But you only catch quick glimpses here and there of him, like turning the corner, going when you come out of the library, you see him at the end of the hallway. He's usually talking to his staff or, you know. You also catch a glimpse of a very large cat, like a crag cat that seems to be somewhat domesticated, because the staff yells its name out, Garfield.
Garfield.
You don't know why.
We
it's
having
named
lasagna
Garfield.
for dinner.
You don't know why. It's Italian night. What the hell? Cat's out. Anything you guys want to do on the evening after dinner, before we get into Lady Silverhand's return and you guys are taken into the war room?
With me.
I want to ask one of the staff who this guy is that we see around.
I was gonna say, if we get do we get the feeling that we're being watched?
So one of the wait staff that you ask is obviously a pretty young lass. She's like, "Dear sir, we're not supposed to talk about that gentleman."
Fair enough.
Why is he so
I want
special?
I want to inquire about shipping the egg. If there's anybody they would know who they could recommend to
So
provide safe passage.
down in the entranceway where you come in, like you guys come in like the back entrance through, like where not so much the servants come in, but more like where the palace, you guys came through, like where the guards and stuff come in, There's a front door that you can come in too, and over by the front door, there's like a shop where you can buy stuff, like the Purple Dragons t-shirt, and they have a gift store there, and inside the gift store, there's a UPS shipping center in there. So Is that what you're looking for? Somehow, how do you want to ship this egg? I mean,
Zoblob
Well,
shipping.
you want to put it in a
what
crate and land it on a wagon, or
I would like it to be escorted, either magically to there or hire a group to take it. I mean, this is a family member. I'm not taking any chances putting it in a shipping crate and just sending it off.
so you're asking around the palace about where you could do this, right? All
Yeah.
right. We'll come back to that. That's a pretty good one right there. Anything else, anybody? No. All right. So while Krell is wandering around, this individual that the servant said we're not supposed to talk about, actually, you like you're talking to like the concierge, right? Like the head concierge person, and you got this bundle that you've got all opened up. It's very fragile. He's like, it's fragile, crack. You can't break it. It's my niece or nephew, crack. It has to make it to where does it have to go to?
It has to go down to the what's it
Port
called?
9 Zaru?
No, it's shoot. Give me a second.
It's
On the
Jolt
map.
though, right?
It's the Mist Cliffs or something like that.
Yeah, the
In
Mist
Jolt?
Cliffs. Yeah, and that's in the Cholts. Yes, that's the western side of Cholt, the Mistclift
Yeah.
Mountains. So
where
as
it's
you're
at.
explaining where the Mistclift Mountains are, and it's a peninsula of a place called Cholt, and to the concierge, because he never really heard of Mistcliff Mountains, but he has heard of Cholt, and he does know where Port Nanzaro is. So he definitely thinks he can get it to Port Nanzaro. But as you're talking to him, this individual he's got brown hair, he's got a brown beard, kind of reddish brown, probably mid 30s ish age wise, a little salt and pepper happening in his beard and uh, and his hair. He's wearing a heavy cloak, kind of greenish and brown colors. He's got uh, and when you look up at him, you can see that he's kind of pale, right? Not like ghostly pale, but kind of mottled pale, and and you get a chill up your spine when he steps around the corner and he says, "Excuse me, are you talking about transporting that egg to Cholt? Is that what I heard?"
Yes, that's correct.
He looks over at the egg, and you immediately feel the coldness coming off of him. I mean, he's just ice cold. I mean, you can feel when he talks, the smoke comes out of his mouth, and he's just cold. And even the girl that's helping you, the concierge, she like shivers a little. She's like, ooh. And he says, "I could transport that for you."
And by what methods, what means
Well,
would you?
I'll just put it here in my handy bag. It'll be protected in here. Holds all kinds of stuff. You like
Yeah, this isn't just an ordinary egg. This isn't food. This is my family, and I want
he
my
looks down
niece
at
or
the
nephew.
egg, looks up at you. Do you have to sit on it?
No, just maintain a level of warmth. You don't actually have to sit on it.
A level of warmth might be a problem.
For you, yeah, it appears so. You look a little cold.
he looks down at the egg and says, "Perhaps in the bag of holding it's still warm."
That's
Reach
a
your hand in his
possibility.
bag of holding and see how warm it
Whoa.
is in there.
He reaches in and pulls something out, and immediately you see the frost form around it as he's holding it. He's like, I suppose once it goes in, it has to stay in.
Yeah, and you'd have to use gloves to put it in and take it out.
Yes. Perhaps I can make those arrangements for you, though. I'll...
Okay.
The Mistcliff Mountains, you say?
Yes.
He says, are you staying long?
For at least another day or so. I'm not 100% sure. We have meetings that we must attend, and I don't know where they're going to take us after that.
Ah, meetings. I dislike them so much. Just let me roam in the jungle, please. He bows. He says, I'll probably be in some of those meetings. I'll see you around.
All
And he
right.
kind of wanders off, and the temperature drops immediately, or warms back up immediately as he goes away. You're like, "Boo," you kind of see where he was like leaning on the table and looking at the egg. There's a couple of icicles hanging off the edge of the table and stuff. She's like, we can't talk about him. And matter of fact, the whole encounter is starting to get a little fuzzy. Like, did I just talk to somebody? Oh yeah, that guy. Like, huh?
Like a Slurpee brain freeze.
A little bit. Kind of.
Who
Why'd I
was
do
guy?
that? All right, so dinner went great. After dinner, you guys are allowed to mingle around and chit chat. There are 3 people at the dining room that you guys end up meeting. One of them is a member of the Lord's Alliance that you guys recognize from Nevermember's entourage. You know, his crony, one of his cronies is here, and the other 2 you think are Harpers, the secret organization of the Harpers.
Didn't they
They were
teleport
in
us
the.
last time?
Yeah.
They did. That's why you kind of, they whisper at each other, and they're like, you know, that's why you think they're Harpers. They're too secretive. They're always telling secrets. Like
I like to whisper too.
that one leaned over to her and she says, "Do you want butter for your biscuits? I mean, come on. Why does it have to be a secret?" So after dinner, you guys are taken into the Palisades War Room. You guys have been in here. This is where you met with Lady Silver, whatever her name is, last time. And this time there is a lot of people in here. And when you guys come in, the room kind of quiets down. Like all the talking and all the discussions that you guys hear coming up the hallway, and when your guards, the escorts open the doors and you guys walk in, everyone turns and looks, and the lady waves you over to where she's standing around this big huge table, and there's maps and papers and all kinds of stuff all over the place. There's big huge guard looking guys in here, there's wizardy looking guys, there's clericy looking guys, there's the 2 Harpers, there's the popsicle dude, and other people you don't recognize milling about. And through the crowd steps the captain from Luskin that you met on the docks, that took you to his house.
Yeah.
AKA the Drow, but he doesn't look like the Drow right now. He looks like the captain. And he kind of walks up and does a little bow and winks at you. Says, "I'm here in an official capacity." And he kind of wanders away a little bit from you guys.
I say, yes, we are too. And I kind of wink at him.
Ah, I see.
I'm just gonna
Uh,
wink at everybody.
So there
You got something in
is
your eye there.
there are some questions that are asked of you guys about information that they're going to get from your captain's logs about location of pirate ships spotted and that you guys had spotted a kraken and details like that. And what's the short of it is scattered around are what looks like the cities that were attacked by pirates and a battle map of positions of pirate activity, non-solicited pirate activities. Like from the Black Armada pirate activities, particularly. And you see a lot of red pins down south. In particularly,
Down by Mintarn.
no, even further,
Melanther.
Nelanther. So this area here is, oops, I'm
That's where
dragging.
that we heard that Kraken was.
Yeah, this area
Yep.
here is lit up with pins.
Well, just don't go in that area.
And right,
I think that's where we're getting sent.
and the lady looks at you and she says, "We're not going. You are."
That's
And
what I
out
thought.
loud, Stagman's just goes, God damn it.
Not again.
She says, "We have need of your services again, but this time it's a capture mission. We need you to infiltrate the Black Armada and capture Sea King Tetris."
Oh, okay. We'll be back day after tomorrow.
Do any of you know the resurrection spell? So when we capture him and bring him back, you can resurrect him.
I'm working on it. Damn it.
We do have
Oh, I get it.
a portrait that we have put together of Sea King and his parrot. Sea
That's an ugly
King
parrot.
Tetrix
Homunculus.
Yeah.
is the known leader of the Kraken Society. And also the leader of the Black Armada. We need him captured. And
Is he like half a lithid?
Do you need him alive?
he must return to Waterdeep alive at all costs. However, he cannot be questioned because any information that we've tried to gather on who the Black Armada is working for has failed because the person that was questioned, brain was turned into mush.
Ah.
So he needs to be unconscious. Dead is probably not a true way of questioning someone.
Dead is a type of unconscious.
It is, but not the kind we're looking for. Now, I have all of this information at your disposal. But first, we need you to find out where Sea King Tetris resides. And supposedly, there is someone that knows in town.
Who?
That is the other question. Can we trust this individual? We have an arrangement that we're going to try to set up for you to meet with him. You will be meeting in the Yawning Portal. Midnight tonight. Or I'm sorry,
Don't tell me
midnight
it's
tomorrow
Captain
night.
Callus.
Not tonight, but tomorrow night. Yeah, it's Captain Callus. That's perfect. Let me put that in here. Thank you for the biddies, Finster. The Yawning Portal is not that far from the palace. Matter of fact, I can show it to you on the map. It's number 7. For those that don't have the map, John. So that's the Yawning Portal. It's not that far away. And not tonight at midnight, but tomorrow night at midnight, you are to be there and an individual will approach you. We don't know who it is yet, but they will tell you that they know where to find the king.
And they
I
won't
feel
give us
great.
any.
No.
They won't give us any information about who this individual is before we meet them.
They do not know. This is. They look over at the Harpers and they whisper. The Harpers whisper each other. They're like, "We don't know yet. We don't know who it is."
So once we find out where King Tendrix is there any reason we need to keep this informant alive?
They whisper. They both shrug their shoulders. They kind of shake their head. Not really. Yeah, whatever. They don't care.
We could just bring him with us.
I mean, they're like the female of the group. She says, "I suppose that would be your call."
Yeah, we could bring him with us,
I
and
mean-
then on the first pirate ship we meet, introduce, hey, he's this guy told us where to find you.
Yeah. You kind of suspect as soon as he tells you that he's gonna go thud and fall to the ground, but
I hope his name's not Flume.
it's Captain Flume.
Flume.
All right. So big maps, big stuff all over the place. A couple of players. I do believe some of you guys wanted to talk to Burgundy Earth. What's his name?
It's Jarlaxle's buddy, the one that's the high captain.
No, Jaraxle. Burgundy Earth is his group. Burgundy Earth.
Right, but is he here or is the high
yeah,
captain?
No, he is here. That is him.
Oh, he's here. Okay.
Yes,
He's
dressed
Personally.
as
Okay.
dressed as the captain, and that's why he says, "I'm here on official business," and he winks at you.
So before we leave the lady, Ember will turn to Nystagmus. Do you want to explain about the city we found, besieged by the undead?
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. So
As he's talking, I will do minor illusion to accentuate what he's explaining.
All right, so as you guys are leaning over this table and you're kind of pointing down to where Roaring Shore is on the map and stuff, and you start talking about black ice and zombies, suddenly it gets chilly at the table. And Matakuri, you kind of glance back and you now see that individual you didn't see him earlier, but now he's kind of right behind you guys listening and kind of looking like standing up looking at the table a little, like where you guys are pointing.
I want to
Go
ask
on.
him if he can touch my mug of ale and chill it down for me.
It's a party trick. And so
wanna
the rest
turn
of you
to him
don't
and-
know who this is, but you feel the cool, like the air conditioner just kicked on. You know, you're like, "Ooh, that was getting hot." Now it's like kind of chilly. You're like, "Brr, brr." A little chill runs
Well,
up
when
your
we head
spine.
south, maybe he'll go with us. Kind of keep the cabin cool.
Right? Air conditioning.
Yeah, and the cold doesn't bother Nystagmus at all. He kind of likes that. He's like, yeah, come in a little closer, buddy.
Is that like spawning temperature for your kind?
So do you like kind of step aside and let him
Mating
stand next to
temperature.
you? Do you guys like part the table a little? Let him step up to the table. I mean,
Well, when I notice him, I think that I kind of finish what I'm saying, and then I turn to him and I said, "Sir, do you have something that you would like to add to the conversation?"
adding to the conversation, not particularly. However, I would like to listen in if you don't mind. Sorry about dropping the temperature on you like that, but it's just the nature of the beast. And a couple of people kind of nod their head, like, "Yep," you know, like they know what he's talking about. You guys are like, "Whatever." So he kind of
I wanna-
creeps up a little closer, and it is like right next to him. You're freaking cold. I mean, like 40 degrees cold. So it's cold. I mean, if you're affected by it or not is a difference, but you know it's cold. I mean, you can see your breath and.
So does Ember recognize his race or any sort of magical
Yes, he is
pendant or anything that's on
human.
him?
He's definitely human. He's got heavy gloves on. He's wearing kind of a heavy jacket, like a sturdy jacket. You can see underneath he's got some metallic chain or something, like maybe you think maybe mithril armor or something very light. And I mean, just looking at his sword and bow are finely crafted. I mean, very, very nice. You would assume they're magical. I mean, they're of that quality just looking at them. And he smells like he's been in the woods, you know, like he hasn't taken a shower. Like you guys got all cleaned up. He doesn't look like he's been cleaned up. He's still a branch stuck in his bootlace, you know, like a little twig, you know, like he just got here. And you guys saw him earlier today, pretty much.
I point at his warm jacket and I say, "Is that for your warmth or ours?"
Uh, it's I've had this for quite a long time. It was given to me by my wife. And you can see he moves it around now, and you can see it's been torn and cut and patched, and it is just shredded up. And that's what makes it look cool is it's stitches, like a lot of stitches. It's just been shredded up, but there's been care done to the stitching. He's like, I learned how to do this stitching before you were born. You know,
Do I have
not
any sense that he's undead?
uh, other than he's freaking looks like a popsicle. No, his eyes look
I-
clear. You know, he doesn't stink of undead. He doesn't have fangs.
I want to ask him his name. I didn't catch your name earlier when we spoke. I'm Krell.
Ah, Krell. Yes, the egg guy, and from Cholt.
Yes.
I might know your family. My name is Artis Simber. Did I lose you guys? Did I
No,
pause?
artist Simber.
Artis
Or December?
Simber, yeah. And let me show you a picture of him.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Art.
Did I describe him halfway decent?
Yeah.
Of course, he's probably not all decked out in his
That's what he looks like.
armor and. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Weapons and all.
Yeah, he's got all that. He's got his that leathers he's wearing is all stitched up, and he looks like he's been wearing it a long time. He looks very comfortable, though. He doesn't look like he's uncomfortable, like he's wearing, bulky, heavy armor. It looks comfortable to him. Like he's got pants on underneath, and you know, he's got stuff tied off, and he just looks comfortable. Like he could just go running through the woods right now. You know what I mean? He says, "Go on, finish explaining what you know of this black ice."
Yeah, unless you guys stop me, I'm gonna keep going. I assume this guy's here for a reason. So
I'm thinking
They all
about.
seem to know who he is. So
Yeah, no, everybody. I mean, looks like they respect the guy. They all stop talking and they look at him.
I was
He's
thinking about kind of controlling water over his head and saying if it turns to snow. As a cool little parlor trick. We are in the parlor, right?
you're in the war room. I don't think you want to.
Oh, the war room. Okay.
Yeah, there's
never mind.
maps. I don't think you want to make a mistake with a bunch of water right now. There's like scrolls and maps and information all spread out. Probably not a good place to be launching
Right.
fire near the big kegs of gunpowder. Oh, that was Ember. Never mind.
that's right, I forgot about that.
So you guys, Nystagmus explains the roaring shore and the city and the stuff, and so Artist he listens to most of it, and then he kind of stops you right in the middle of explaining where it's at, and he says, "Excuse me, but did any of you get any of this black ice?" And he kind of looks around at you guys.
Absolutely not.
No, I'd like to
Not
think we're
touching
smarter
it.
than that.
I suppose it is a smart idea to avoid the substance. And then he lets you finish describing, and he kind of steps back away from the table after you finish talking about the black. So they explain to you that, and this is coming from the Harpers actually. The male Harper steps up and he says, "Yes, the black ice is a remnant of Krishnabon, the necrotic artifact that was used to siege many cities more than a century ago. One of the towers was buried under Kelvin's Cairn, the peak of a mountain in 10 towns up in Icewind Dale, right outside of the town Bryn Shander, near a dwarving mining community ran by a Stokely Silver. Uh, he looks embarrassed. I forgot his name. Anyways, his name is Stokely, and one of his clan dug up and started mining where this tower was destroyed of black ice, and supposedly the dwarves went mad, and there was a revolution in the mines, but black ice spilled out of this mine in the form of armor and weapons and trinkets and spread all over 10 towns. Since then, a lot of the ice has been recovered and reburied, but it still shows up here and there, and it is spreading. Its its ability to create undead is faster than we can keep up with. So far, there's only one thing that prevents you from contracting black ice if you come in contact with it.
And that would.
We all lean in.
Lycanthropy.
Oh, really?
Turn into a werewolf. They're immune to black ice.
It seems one curse protects you from the other.
Does it have to be werewolf lycanthropy?
The lichen affliction does not matter. So where
Beware
tiger, where
shark.
shark, where bear,
Oh.
where boar, where
Rat.
Ostrich.
where big bird.
Where emo?
Artis says, how long does it take for the black ice to affect someone in possession of it? You know, that's a pretty detailed question. And out of the blue, he asks, and everyone looks over at him. And Harper turns around and says, it depends on the person's constitution to withstand it. Some people can last a few days, others only hours. So you gotta roll a
Is there
saving
any-
throw. If you fail it, you got it.
So is there any kind of container it can be carried in without having it affect you?
Yes, it seems a lead-lined box does protect you from small amounts of it, but anything in a greater amount will need to be encased in greater and greater lead, becoming very difficult to move.
Or in an extra dimensional kind of cubby hole, perhaps?
It seems that placing it in its own dimension doesn't dispense with the necromantic aura that it projects. It seems this aura passes through not only the prime, but carries over into the astral and other planes as well. So it's even if you went to ethereal or so forth, you would still carry the taint with you.
So is there any other purpose for this stuff other than, would anybody else have a use for it than a necromancer? I mean, if it's raised dead,
The other problem with the black ice is once you have it in your possession, you don't want to give it up. It
So we
becomes
need to get one of these squid face illithid ships, load it up with all the black ice, and set it on autopilot to go back home.
Undead
they
mind
do-
flayers? I don't know if we want to deal with that.
They can all die and deal with it with their infighting. I don't know. Those undead didn't seem terribly intelligent.
well, Lady Silverhand, she kind of speaks up and she says, Waterdeep is making preparations to secure our borders by building a wall. Was that a Trump thing? I don't know.
You got a vaccine ready too?
Yeah, but she explains that Waterdeep has begun to reinforce their walls and put up more battlements and palisades and to protect the city. They're also coming up with a way to detect the black ice in a spell. So instead of detect magic or something, it's detect black ice, and it has a range of 60 feet, so it's double the detect magic range, but it's specific to black ice. So they're working on that, and they're going to start trying to make sure that there's nothing in Waterdeep.
Can Ember get a copy of that spell?
Yeah, actually you can. If you want to make that up, go for it. Just use the
It's a
detect.
cantrip, you said?
Detect magic. No, it's the same as detect magic. First, is that first level? Yeah, first level.
Detect black ice. You know, seeing that
And
we've got
actually,
some pretty
you could easily get 2 copies. You could have 2 of them. Go ahead. Sorry.
seeing that we've got some pretty powerful people here in the room, and you know that we're dealing with mind flayers, is there anything that can help shield our minds from their attempts to attack us or take control? Or
There are magical devices that can do that.
tinfoil hats, there you go.
Ember
Um,
will hold up his empty hand, and then slowly a ring appears. I have a ring of shielding is a good example of this, and then the ring will disappear.
Yeah, Ring of Mind Shielding, which casts what spell? And that would be the spell that you guys would want.
It
Cast
doesn't cast
Feeble
a
Mind on the
spell.
wearer.
It doesn't cast a spell. It says, while
I
wearing
thought
the ring, you are immune to magic that allows other creatures to read your thoughts, determine whether you are lying, know your alignment, or know your creature type. And you can telepathically communicate with you only if you allow it.
I thought
then
there
you can
was
also
a
turn
spell
it
that
invisible.
protected you from being mind protection. Protection from maybe that's 4E or 3.
Yeah, there is a spell, but I
0.5.
don't know what that is. I think it's a cleric spell.
But if there is one, they would have told you it right now. So there we go. We'll put that in there. You guys know it when you find out what it is. There you go. But there is a spell that'll do that, and there are magical items that could be created, but not in the time restraints that we're talking. So the other information that you guys are become privy of, not that you don't know about it, is there has been a crash on the planet. A ship has crashed on this planet, and supposedly it was a vessel called a nanoloid. Sounds like something from the planet Mork and Mindy. What planet was he from? A nanoloid?
Orc.
Nano. And from there spilled ithlids or mind flayers, space squid people, right? And Krell scratches his head as he remembers that they like to eat brains, especially juicy, like intelligent brains.
I'm
And
safe, guys.
supposedly, when they consume these brains, they also consume the memories of the individual.
So is this a second ship or this is the
One
Yeah,
one we
different
found?
ship.
we found, I think.
I mean, you assume it's the same one. You hope. They
Yeah.
tell you it was off the coast of Germunden or whatever the place is out there.
Gunderland or something.
Gunderland, yeah, Gunderland near Gunderland, not far from Luskin. And they explain to you that they do know of uh, that the mind flayers are being pretty much trying to be wiped out by the Githyanki. They're trying to exterminate the mind flayers, like because the mind flayers are so bad. I mean, they can control people's minds and take over, uh, cities and just wreak havoc. And the Giths were slaves of them for decades, millennia, I think. And they finally
So
escaped, and now the whole race is just trying to murder each other. What's that,
have
Caesar?
we told have we told anybody here about the Gith that we met up in Neverwinter?
I'm sure you told the Lord's Alliance.
So are the Gith working with this party in any way in this
Uh,
war planning?
there has been a communique with the Gith. They have a base of operations in a place called Tayern, which is way up north, and we do have some communication with them. They are only a small contingent currently, and they're preparing to oust the Mind Flayers, but they don't have the troops yet here. They have vessels committed elsewhere, and it's not like a crashed nanoloid on a planet is their problem. You know, that's kind of the GIS attitude a little bit. All right, we got here's a platoon of guys that are going to help you. You know, now you got to imagine that in the astral sea, how large it is. This is just one little speck of a planet with warring factions that span galaxies. So when a nanoloid crashes, it's onto a little planet. It's like, are we going to devote a whole bunch of resources to that, or let the planet deal with it? Right? You're shit out of luck. So that's the kind of impression that you get from the stat. We have to deal with this. They're here, but they're not. They sent a message to their commanders.
They're not
So I
much
mean,
help.
they're there. They're a powerful contingency. There's several red dragons that work with them. You know, it's a platoon, but there's at least 3 red dragons up there. So, and they're exploring and trying to find information on their own. But details haven't come out. That's why they want you guys to go get Sea Captain King, Sea King Textras, because they want that information. That's the guy. That's the they like second in command. We can't trust the information to be accurate.
Can you
He's the
tell
key.
us? Can you tell us where, more specifically, we might find him? Does he have a specific
We we,
hangout?
we have a contact that supposedly, and she looks over at the Harpers, that's a member of the Kraken Society and is willing to tell you where Sea King Tetrix is at. And he will be meeting you, he or she will be meeting you in the Yawning Portal at midnight tomorrow night.
Gotcha.
What else can you tell us about this contact? Like, I know that you don't know who this person is, but can you tell us anything else about him that could be useful?
That information didn't come, only that we were to schedule a meeting. And that we don't have that information yet. Is what the Harpers tell you. They're like, we got orders just to have you meet there. We don't. It's a contact. He's going to tell you, I can help you find the king. So whoever comes up to you and says that, then you know.
Floon Black Mark.
So obviously, you guys could dive deep, deep, deep into my homebrew world that I have brewing. That's what all that stuff is going. Right here in this room, you got a lot of players. So if anything strikes your fancy and you want to ask, this now's the time. I mean, you probably will have plenty of other opportunities, but this is a perfect time to anything that's been lingering question-wise in your head. This is probably now a good time to try to get it answered.
Let's ask about that flying ship.
I thought
a
that was Neverwinter.
well, there is your representative from the Lord's Alliance here, and he says we are preparing for a crew, probably you guys, since you're the main crew that's working with Lord Neverwinter, and it's his money founding the project to build a astral skiff in case we need to try to contact the Gith and they need somebody to be on the ship. Since you guys have already, somehow made them respect you a little bit, any negotiations they tried to have, they had no respect. The Gith were like, "You're below us. You're fodder. You're just a nobody. You can't even, you know, you're just food." That's the way they treat people on this planet. You're just food. You're just here for somebody to come along and harvest. One way or the other. Your planet is just biological food. Except you guys got a little respect out of them. They actually communicated with you, so that's why you guys are kind of getting poked to do the task. But they don't know if they'll get the ship finished in time for whatever's all going down. Because this Black Armada thing is spreading like wildfire. The last week, 2 weeks, you guys have seen it. After the attacks on the towns, and now there's massing in the south. You don't know what's going on. Something global.
So is there a time limit on getting Sea King Tetrix back, or is it a as soon as possible deal?
Yeah, the sooner we get him back here, the sooner we can interrogate him. The less chance he has of getting away, wherever you guys are going to find him. So spend the next day getting ready for your mission.
Before we leave, after the people start to disperse, I want to approach the cold guy. I am
Okay.
a purveyor not purveyor. I am a wielder of magic from a small island off to the west. I'm not familiar with someone like you. I've never met someone who exudes cold like you do. Is that an item that does that, or you look human? What
I've
causes the cold?
I've been cursed by a sickness that causes me extreme coldness.
And a remove curse does not repair this affliction.
It may. I choose not to have it removed.
Interesting.
I carry the burden as to not have anyone else do it.
Well, I thank you for your honesty.
And you notice he kind of thumbs his ring finger kind of when he's talking to you. But he's got gloves on. I mean, but you can see him, as he's thinking about this burden.
Ask him if he wants to come with us. You want to hunt a Sea King?
Is that what Scusser does? You want to go hunt a Sea King? He's like, I don't see how that could help.
You could freeze him in a big block of ice, and we can drag his ass back here and thaw him out.
Yeah, but I could, but wonder if I get captured. That wouldn't be good. No one would like that, and everyone shakes their head. Yeah, they agree. No one would like that. Like other people know the inside joke, and you guys don't. It's kind of that little look. It's not like a joke, but The secret.
Well, guys, I guess we're the Expendables.
Oh yeah.
So once we are leaving the war room and heading out, I go up to Ember and I say, "So, Sea King Tentrix, does he have nicer face tentacles than I do?"
Who'd you ask that to? Who was that to?
To Ember.
uh,
This in this picture, but you know these pictures are all or usually exaggerate. So I'm sure yours are much better in real life.
he just looks at you, stone like lava look. Um. So tomorrow. Sound good, everybody? You guys finish up the evening. Uh, you guys have another opportunity in the same room after your meeting. So uh, at 12:01, the board will be back here. 12:01 midnight tomorrow night. All these people will be back here waiting on you guys to get back with information on where Seeking is so they can plan his abduction, and you guys are SEAL Team 6. All right? So you have the naval power and money behind some of the greatest people on the Sword Coast backing you to go kidnap somebody. And it just so happens to be like, the leader of the Soviet Empire, he's some, the big baddie. And you guys got to plan your day in town to figure out if you want to buy anything. You some of you might need rope. You know what you're going to need. A billy goat, a 10-foot pole, or the list of magical items that I sent you. So I do have comprehensive. What's that one?
Comprehensive equipment manual.
I do have that loaded on the table. Yeah, the comprehensive equipment manual. And if you guys want to load that in the modules and peruse through it, it's got some kind of cool trinkets and a few interesting items. You would have access to everything in there, I do believe. I don't think there's anything whacked out of it. I didn't look at the whole thing. There's nothing. If there's anything
A greater
whacked totally
airship
out,
for 250,000 gold.
yeah, DM's discretion on a few of those things, but certain things are probably going to be out of your reach, though, like 250,000 gold pieces. Although you had heard that there was some kind of big dragon heist not too long ago in Waterdeep, where they 500 gold dragons were stolen.
500,000.
Or yeah, 500,000 gold dragons were stolen.
How much is a gold dragon worth?
By the guy that's employing us.
It's 1 gold.
Well, there's also another guy that was trying to steal it too, and he's in the room too, so
Mm-hmm.
things seem to have changed direction though when these guys are kind of working together. Something's going on when you've got weird factions like the Lord's Alliance, the Harpers, and Brigandy Earth in the same room. Not really, if you know anything about Jaraxxle. So, does anyone want to go shopping tomorrow?
Yeah,
I
Amber
do.
does.
Who's first?
Amber will
Let's
go
roll.
first.
Ember. Yeah, why don't we do that? Let's all roll a d20 in the chat. and whoever gets the highest number gets to go first. So Krell, you get to go first.
You said they gave us 2,000, right?
And yeah, add 2,000 to your character sheets, including the voyage.
Really?
Yep. So you
Yeah,
guys
while you were
can
gone before,
draw from the voyage, but did I get
while you
that
were
to
gone
you,
before,
Krell?
they said that we want to add 30 days worth of stuff to the ship.
30-day supply. If you could,
I already did that.
he heard us.
All right, that's all I'm getting. If you're looking at the shop, you can see what I've added to the cart, and you can see the total price calculated.
How do you get to the shop again?
Here, I'll share it with you guys. So
Does it
yeah,
always have to be gold then?
Oh.
No, it'll be whatever the price. It'll be whatever coinage the item's price is defined as. So if the price is 2 copper, it'll be in copper.
Yeah, he just
Right,
everything is just
it'll
in
never
gold.
be
That's all.
platinum or electrum.
Yeah, everything's
yeah.
fine. Anything, I mean, I suppose you could create other things if you wanted to, but I haven't figured a use out for it. And see, it took it 6 potions, and it posted it in uh, down in chat. And what I do, I have a store in my Ghost of Saltmarsh table that they can actually borrow equipment from. They just have to purchase it, and then if they don't use it, they can bring it back and get their money back in full. So it's like a checkout kind of thing. And I can grab that and make them a receipt. Here you go, ching. Bring this back, and you get. So I just drag that onto the receipt on their character sheet already made, and hit save. You know, it's done.
I'm done.
Who was
didn't update the
next?
numbers. Damn it.
I think I was, but I'm willing to forego my turn for temporarily. Let somebody else go ahead of me.
Who was after
Scuzzer.
that? Scuzzer with a 6.
All right, let me see. I had a couple things I wanted to get.
All right, so you guys can just go in turn. Don't and make sure the cart's empty before you switch. You'll be fine.
And double check after you buy the items to make sure it added the right quantity. There's an occasional bug. I still haven't worked it out.
Is the crossbow the only thing of warning they have? Am I able
Yeah,
to get a
what's in the
trident of
shop is
warning?
what you guys found. In the couple days you're here, you know. Of course, you could have stuff made and pick it up later and that kind of crap, but doesn't do you good now.
All right, and that's it. Just hit buy, right?
Just hit buy. Make sure you have
Yeah, I got the.
1,922 gold pieces, and then hit
Yep,
buy.
it's converted all.
And then double check to make sure you got 4 potions, 4 greater healing potions.
There we go. Okay, so when I do this, I should change 4 to 8.
or make another stack of them. Sometimes it does that. I don't know why. Different sources.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it might be from.
Because the price is different.
Squall, did you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go. Have to make sure that there's nothing that requires attunement though, because there's nothing I want to give up.
Yeah, Squall's got some nice stuff he's attuned to.
And I believe the scroll of Revivify is only usable by cleric anyway, right?
Probably.
Let's see, cleric, life cleric, domain, paladin. So I think all 4 of those would be handy. Scroll of Tongues is usable by Warlock, Wizard, Sorcerer. So if somebody else wants that, I'll leave it.
No, go for it.
It all just disappeared out of the.
Uh-oh.
Everything just disappeared.
It didn't appear on your character sheet.
No, I never clicked the button. I was actually over here looking at.
I didn't touch it.
I was over
Did
here
somebody
looking
close
at
the
something
window,
else.
maybe?
Oh, I did. Does it close for
Yeah.
everybody when you close it? Oh, my
No,
bad.
and
No,
when
it
you close it, it empties the cart.
Oh, here.
Oh.
Oh, here. I'll give it back to Squall
Oh
there.
well, here I know what was in there.
Yeah, so just do it again. That's all.
Okay.
Guess the best practice was for me to reshare it, so then the next person has it on top. You know, it's theirs, and then everybody else can close it if they want.
So you said if we needed some stuff out of the comprehensive equipment manual, we can go ahead and get it.
Yep.
We can get some fancy arrows.
Yeah, you should be able to drag all that stuff right on your sheet, I think.
All right, I'm finished.
Now we could make a parcel of it and add it to the shop, and then you could buy it that way if you want. I mean, I'm just saying, if you like the shop, I could just drag it all. Oh, the players can't make a parcel though.
Are they allowed to use these alchemical or the various arrows and make them into bolts for the same price?
If they're in there as arrows, I'll allow it. Or if they're in there as bolts, but if they're not, then they are what they are. It's whatever specific is in there.
There are a number of unique crossbow bolts, but I don't think the alchemical ones are there. I don't think that's an
There's
option.
alchemical arrows.
Gotta have a
Right.
little more finesse with those alchemical ones. You kind of gotta lob them. You don't want to just like, you know, because they burst too fast. You know, you don't want to shoot them out of a shotgun. You kind of gotta lob them. That's my excuse for why there's not any. Scroll of Tongues. Who are you gonna talk to?
Oh, that's not for French kissing?
It's a scroll of tongues.
Cunnilingus. Oh, Eddie Murphy playing the grandmother on the nutty professor, and she's sitting there talking about, oh, I like me some cunnilingus.
Does anyone want the? I could give you guys the adventuring gear, or I have. I was going to make the comprehensive equipment manual into a store, but Diablo Bob hasn't made the drag all button yet, so he did it on the spells. Like on the spells, you could, if you are making your character sheet and you want and you sort it by level and then by source, and let's say you want all first level spells, then you could just grab the drag list button and drag it over to your character sheet and it drags the whole list. I'm trying to get him to do that on the story entry too, so I could just drag the whole story list or the whole table or the whole.
Nystagmus,
Yeah.
I think you're the last one. Before you go, let me grab those last four, or those 4 scrolls of bless.
Yep. Go for it.
Okay. Cool.
What is the cruel weapon property?
Cruel weapon?
Yeah, it says
Okay.
barbed arrow. Says this piece of ammunition has wicked barbs that make it hard to remove from the target. This applies the cruel weapon property to attacks made with it.
I got it. Cruel weapons. If this property is applied to a weapon by its ammunition, it applies only for the attacks that make use of such ammunition. Each successful attack with a cruel weapon leaves a piece or the entirety of the weapon or ammunition in the wound. Removing the object requires an action and a successful DC 8 medicine check, with each failure inflicting 1 additional point of damage. For each piece of cruel ammunition currently in a target, temporarily reduces its maximum hit points by 1 and increase the DC of any checks to stabilize it by 1. So it makes it harder and harder and harder for them to recover if they try and pull the arrows out.
And I just want you to know that it's your responsibility to keep track of all that bullshit too.
I know it sounds like it's more trouble than it's worth, really.
So I bow out of that as the DM. I might give you a tracker that you can keep on your character sheet, uses or whatever, but that's it. That's all you get.
Guys, is there anything else in here that we want to grab before we leave?
Did you see
It's
my
you
message,
guys don't
Greg?
you guys have you still have a little time. I mean, do you want me to physically do that, or is that something that
I don't
does
think
it
there's
like
any other way to do it, is there?
so what I'm asking you is, does it show up at his door like ding dong,
Yes. Yes.
a delivery? So Nystagmus, you're like getting out of the shower and you have housekeeping. Knock 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 knock. Housekeeping. And you come out, you're all.
The hell kind of hotel is this?
Do you want turn down service?
Do you want to turn down service? And you see one of the the servants are like, you have a delivery, and she's holding a box, like a coat box, clothing box, and she sets it on the table and scampers out. Sorry.
All right. Is there a card?
There is a card.
I'll read the card first.
The card says, "You're welcome."
Okay, and then I'll open it.
So inside of this box is a cloak of billowing.
Ooh.
Bonus section below.
And another note that says, Ember.
Thanks, Ember.
And it also can turn into a brooch. Somehow.
A
It's
brooch
like
of billowing.
a little string you pull, and the whole thing goes and sucks back into the brooch. The cloak does. You can pin that brooch on your cloak and it makes a pillow, or you can pull out the cloak and wear it. Little tie
It's like your
dispenser kind of
flash
thing.
suit in your ring.
Yeah, so you have access to two cloaks. One billows and the other one does whatever it does and it billows. Wow, you guys almost bought out
Sweet.
the frickin' town. Holy crap. Boots is doing one. Did Boots is starting in spring? What the hell do those things do? I forgot.
So if I put on the mithril chain shirt, I got to take the scale mail unequipped, right?
Correct. Because you wouldn't want to wear both of them.
Right. And so the mithril chain shirt should take away the disadvantage for the stealth. How do you do that?
On your main page, where it has your AC, the
Right.
magnifying glass there.
No.
Right.
Click.
Well, no, that's actually not the right way to do it. The right way to do it would be to apply an effect.
Just edit the item entry and remove disadvantage because it's mithril.
That's the only thing that it does too. Yeah, so it might already be done that way.
Yeah, I think it is because when I click on the magnifying glass, the stealth disadvantage checkbox is not highlighted.
Roll stealth and see what happens.
That's a good idea.
You try
That's
to
why you're
hide.
the DM,
You're like,
right?
hey, this is mithril. I'm gonna try to hide.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
you do. You
There you go.
succeed. You're like,
Rolls
wow.
normal.
Sometimes stuff's automated already in Fantasy Grounds. It's not a lot though. That's why I've got 35 extensions. It's like, come on. I know they're trying to come out with Unity, so they're not progressing with Classic like that, but they'll get to it. Some of this stuff is they're gonna gather up some of this stuff, I bet. Like the ID button that Manicuri's got right now. They're gonna gobble that up.
So I lost
That's
one
fine.
AC, but now I don't have disadvantage, so I'm good with it.
Would you mind giving me a scroll of detect magic so I can tweak it to be the detect ice?
Sure. Inventory items. That's what I'm looking for. Detect magic. If I just drag it to him up top, it doesn't put it on his inventory, does it? I never can remember that.
No, it just popped up the window. Let me see if I can. There you go. That worked.
Oh, it's not ID'd though. Should have that ID button on someone's character sheet
There
too.
you
I could just go ID all, ID all. Is it letting you do it?
Yes, I'm good.
All right, cool. All right, a little shopping, a little hanging out. You guys ready to go to the Yawning Portal?
Yes.
I would
Do you
say you
want to take a
guys get
break?
there a little bit early. Yeah, we should take a break because I got to take a break. Let's take a 10-minute break. 10-minute break. All right,
Sounds good.
chat. If you've been hanging out, we're gonna take a 10-minute break, so we'll be back. See you. Take off, guys. I'm gonna start the timer.
They both do magic damage, so the +1 to hit and +1 damage are not super critical, but going first is helpful.
Does it require attunement?
That's a good question.
Yes,
Why
it
couldn't-
is a
It does. Yeah, never
Oh.
mind. I just realized that. I have enough attuned items.
I didn't have mine equipped.
Wield it. It just says you have to have it on you. I was just gonna grab it and just have it on me.
I've already got 3 attuned items.
You don't have to wield it, but you have to
No,
be
it says
attuned to
while
it
the
if
weapon's
you want
on your person,
Right. You don't have to.
so you don't have to attune it.
No,
No,
you
it
have to have
require
it
attunement.
attuned for it to give you the benefit. You just don't have to be carrying it. It could be in your backpack as long as you're attuned to
Oh,
it.
okay.
Attunement means you're connected to it magically. Magically. Are we playing D&D? Is that what we're doing? I was supposed to get some shit ready and I didn't. All right, close that. Close that. Yawning portal. The yawning portal. So I'm assuming you guys get out of your fancy clothes and you get into your gonna have a meeting clothes, right?
Ember
gonna
will
have
stay
a
in his fancy.
Ember staying in his fancy clothes. Is he gonna look funny with a bunch of people wearing freaking armor and backpacks and shit? He's all like,
Thought we were just going to meet this dude at the tavern. Why would we be having all of our gear with us?
It's the yawning portal, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
You never know what's going to crawl out of that hole.
Everybody who's anybody is in there.
it's like pretty dangerous place actually. All right, so I am going to give you a map. At first, I'm going to give you an image. If I can find the image. Huh. So I'm pushing you a map because I don't know. Oh, there's the image. I guess I did it this way. Map first, then the image. No. All right, so this is the Yawning Portal. Thank you, whoever drew this, Mr. Leons, did a nice job. I like this one. So the area that's shadowed or grayed out is private quarters for you assume to be somebody who owns the place or runs it or something. Has any of your characters ever been here? Some of you as players, I'm sure, have been in the Yawning Portal, but
Characters,
any
no.
characters been there yet? All right, so the
Now, Scuzzer would have been in the dock ward if he came to Waterdeep.
so the Yawning Portal is a multi-story structure, so it's real big inside. Somebody did a little. I found this little image that somebody put together. I thought it was pretty cool. So over this big pit is a bucket, like a big bucket that gets winched down into the Undercity or the catacombs beneath Waterdeep. Everybody's heard of them. They're rumored to be haunted, but many adventurers go down and some come back, some don't, some. And the Yawning Portal takes bets on who can go down and who can come back and how long they'll last. And there are some running bets that last for a while too. And just for your information, if you want to go down the bucket, it costs you gold. And it costs you gold to get back up.
What do you think, guys? Shall we go? Take
Yeah,
off
let's
down
go.
there for a couple weeks?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
say we
down
do
the
it.
hole. Yeah,
Just
let's do
make
it.
me run Mad Mage. Is that what you're gonna do? I don't want to run Mad Mage. The players are like, yeah, you do. You're going in there. We're going in
Go up a
there.
couple levels before we
We're gonna
go
go
after
kill
the.
some fake vampires.
That's right.
But I took a little store and I put it together. And when you go up to the bar, he opens you guys a tab that somebody has to pay at the end of the night. So that is your
Okay.
tab, and those are the things that you can buy, and then one person has to pay for it all. So who? So you guys got to come up with who's going to pay for the tab and why.
I got this.
So Squall volunteers. Squall's like, I got the tab tonight. There you go.
So Ember would be interested in rolling. He's proficient with dice.
Dice. Yeah, there's actually you can buy dice here because there's all kinds of dice games going on. So when you guys come in, the doors down here are the entranceway into here, and standing just inside the doorway, you see a what you would probably assume is not the doorman because he's heavily armed and armored. uh, you think he might be the doorman though, and he looks you up, like scrutinizes you, raises his visor on his helmet. looks you up and down, but doesn't stop you guys from coming in. And let me. I think I have some. Did I? Sound. We have Sirenscape. I pay for that shit. Did I make some? Probably not. Tavern. Anybody want to talk to the tavern keep? I got that.
Got Durnan.
I want to get a pipe and
Whole
some pipe weed.
sound sets for Waterdeep.
There we go. Little tavern sound. There is a bard. He's over here on this rug. He's sitting in a chair. He's got some instruments around him, a couple of instruments.
Three
And,
strings.
Yeah, he tells jokes and stuff occasionally too, but right now
Boo.
he's just singing a little song as you guys come in. The W's are waitresses, working people, and at the bar is a heavyset individual. He's bartending and he's serving. At the end of the bar down here, these 3 stools at the end of the bar, you see 3 lizard folk. They're sitting at the bar, kind of looking around. They look a little out of place, like they're they just got here, kind of look. Behind the bard at this little table here, there's a bunch of goblins running around, and they look like they're his cronies, right? They fetch an instrument and they put stuff away, you know.
That's his roadies.
Yeah, it's like little goblin roadies back there. And this back table, this big one over by the fire, there's a big group of people over here. They're rowdy. They're just being noisy. And most of them are humanoid, but they look burly and like they can handle themselves in a fight, and they're a little armored. And then over by the fire, there's 3 minotaurs standing around, like around the fire pit there, and they're drinking, and you can see them just standing over there. Back here at this table, by the stairwell that goes up, you see 3. I'm sorry, it's 4 cloaked individuals, right? They're kind of got their cowl up, but you can see their facial features a little bit. They're like orcish, like half orcs or something over there, or something. There's 4 of them sitting at a table. They got drinks and they're kind of looking around, but they're looking a little seedy over there. What are you guys thinking? Where would you guys like to set up shop? There's not currently anyone being lowered into the pit currently. But the second level, there's another level that's pretty full up there. That seems like where all the the noisy stuff goes on. Everybody likes that
Were
table?
we all thinking the same place?
Everybody likes that table. All right, let me. I'm gonna chuck you guys on the map here, and you guys can move your tokens over there. Ember's gonna hang out with the minotaurs. There's 3 minotaurs standing there. They're like
You can go over there and
8 feet
Play
tall.
with fire.
You know where I can get some mountain oysters around this place?
You come walking out. Are you still dressed in your fine clothes, or
yes.
what does Ember's fine clothes look like?
It's just a silk. He's still got his studded leather on underneath, but over the top there's a silk blouse and some silk pants and fine boots and a pair of gloves.
What kind of underwear you got on?
So he looks like he just stepped out of the venturing store, and he's still got tags on his stuff. He's all fine and clean.
Mini Pearl.
He's got the bright colored jumpsuit in the prison. instead of the faded one. Is that kind of look? So you walk up to these minotaurs. Now there's two of them like standing like in front of those two chairs in one kind of angle, and you move up between the two. And one of them like looks down at you and snorts. What do you want, human? Oh, he's not human.
Good evening, fine gentlemen. I thought perhaps I could buy you a round or two, maybe something to eat. I am a gatherer of knowledge, and it's the first time I've ever met such a fine example of Minotaur.
Well, aren't you a nice fellow there buying us drinks and stuff, but I'm sorry, our drinks are already paid for by that gentleman over there at that table. And he points to the table with all the, like the 10 rowdy guys and stuff.
Perhaps we can trade some information then. I'll try to just talk to them, just answer basic questions about the Minotaur physiology and their setup and where they're from and their society, that type of thing. Fill in some of the blanks I had in my education.
So he says, "Oh, you want to know about minotaurs? Well, Hacknarg over there," points to his buddy. "He's got the biggest schlong of all of us." And you look over at him, and he thought he had a club in his hands, but it's not. So you know something about minotaurs. They're well endowed.
Nice. And I'm going to also offer to pass the time by playing some dice with them while we talk.
Now they'll gamble with you. They'll gamble with you for sure. All right, we'll come back to you on the gambling. What's everyone else doing? Ordering some drinks and getting some food and stuff?
I'm gonna get a pipe and some of that pipe weed.
All right, just smoke up the place. It's already smoky in here. I think a lot of people are pipe weeding it up.
Are we trying to keep a low profile, guys?
It's not like anybody here knows us.
Right? This isn't a pirate hangout.
Okay, fair enough. In that case, Nystagmus is gonna order a couple bottles of the table wine and pretend to get drunk. And very loud and rowdy, even if the other members of the party aren't at the table. Kind of drawing attention to himself and the fact that he's drunk. Well, pretending to be drunk.
I mean, is he pretending to be drunk for the party's sake or for the patrons in the place?
No, for the patrons, because
so they
he doesn't
know they know he's pretending?
Yeah. I would
Okay.
think the party knows he's going to do this.
I think they would assume, since you ordered table wine instead of the fine wine, that you're just going to be pouring the shit out. Because there's no way you would be drinking that swill. Table wine. No, I don't know. All right, so the evening kind of starts getting a little busier. Some of these tables over here start kind of filling up with like just commoners and people, aristocratic type of people. And the bard apparently insults somebody at the table of the rowdiness. This is what you guys hear across the place, right? That the bar, everyone goes ooh, and then one of the guys gets offended and kind of comes over towards the bard, and the goblins hop up. They're like, hey, and they come running out, and they got these little spears and stuff out. All of a sudden, they just whipped them out. They're like, and the guy's like, well, what do we got here? And you can tell that there's going to be some commotion. So let's go ahead and roll initiative, because I want to see what you guys are going to do. Because we got a bar fight. All right, so let me do. So we have the 10 bandits.
I gotta add that advantage somewhere.
And right now we have the. Let me throw the weights, the bard, the bartender, and the goblins on, and the bouncer, because you see him look over, right? Like he's the authority figure in the house. You know what I mean? So you can see the commotion, and you guys glance over, and you can see that there's a kind of a little crowd at the door. He's putting stamps on people that are leaving. You don't know what that's about. If you've ever been a doorman, you got to put stamps on people when they leave so they can get back in. And the uh, bandits kind of start getting weapons out, like they're gonna a bar fight. And Ember, you definitely think that these minotaurs uh, want to smash somebody's face in too. So there is a bar fight, and Krell, you get to go first. So Krell, you're sitting over there in the back of the booth. You're kind of sprawled out, and you're watching Nystagmus pretend to get drunk, and he's doing a pretty good job. And you're kind of keeping your eye at the door. Your eyes in the door to see who's coming and going. And you catch out that this bar, the music stops, and the crowd goes ooh, and everyone looks over, and the goblins come running out with their spears. I'm gonna move these guys out a little bit. And this one guy's over here, and weapons get pulled, like bottles and mugs and those kind of weapons. And there's going to be a
All right.
fight. So, is there anything you want to do?
Not particularly. I guess I want to get a better look at the fight just because I find it fascinating. So I'm gonna fly over to there, hop up, and just fly over the yawning portal and watch.
Just kind of circle around like you're.
Yeah, just kind of circle around, and I've got my whip on my belt, so if I need to, I'll go over and whip somebody. But right now, I don't have any need to.
All right, cool. A lot of people look up at you like, what the hell is this guy doing? So this goblin, he comes out and he moves over to this guy and he wants to give him the smack on the wrist. So he takes his little spear he's got and he kind of swipes it at this guy, and he whacks him right in the wrist. Like smacks the shit out of his arm with and like the goblin like looks a little surprised that he hit so accurately. He's like, you see his eyes get big, and the guy like jerks his arm and it's broken. He's like, ow! You can see his arms like limp, and he like reaches in. You can tell things are gonna get heated quick. Did that drop on him? No. There. Yeah. Oh wait, what'd I do? Damage.
Killed him.
I killed him! He died. Oh wait, no, he gets back up. Because we have the magic of Fantasy Grounds. All right, first combat's always going to take the longest. So these guys like jump up and they start moving around over here. And this goblin comes out and like sticks his spear out and tries to poke at this guy. And hits a guy. What are these guys wearing? It's their night out. They just got leathers. And so he like whacks this guy in the leg with a spear, you know? Freaking big old welt, you can hear it. Whap! Nystagmus.
So Nystagmus is going to jump up, like, stand up on the bench, the seat where he's at, and he's looking around for people who are taking bets on the fight because he wants in on that action, and he's very loud about it. Trying to continue to play up the drunkenness, but also, engaging with what's going on.
You see, so you're like, I got $20 on, or 10 gold on who you betting on. I mean, do you yell it out? Like,
Oh yeah. He's like, yeah, I've got 50 silver on the goblins.
and you see a couple people look over at you like, they're like, one of the orcs at the table over there kind of stands up and says, "You're on."
Well, put your money where your mouth is.
Let me do that. That's this guy. He steps up. You're on. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, you got the half orc's attention. He pulls his hood back, and you can see he's got like all kinds of like piercings. He's like pierced all over the place. Nose, lips, ears. He's like, "Rawr." The bandits are they're doing their thing right now. Like the front three of them, like they're dealing with the goblins at first. The goblins are like running out and like jabbing, like get back, get back. And the bard's trying to calm things down a little bit. He's like, so you see this, you and that guy are talking about the bet, and you see this guy. He gets up and he like comes over to this table over here. And you can see the table's occupied. There's like people like watching the fight over there. And he kind of comes over to the table, and you see him just like pick up the guy's bag that's behind the table, like a backpack. And he moves back over here and he starts looking in the bag. And the guy's watching him do this. And they catch eyes, and the orc just starts rooting through his bag. He's like, "Did you see that? Hey, that guy's got my bag."
Now, whose bag did he take?
Oh, the
Damn
patron's
tourists.
sitting at the table next to you.
Oh,
It's like a shopping bag. Yeah, it's like somebody went shopping or something. They look like well-to-do kind of. They've been ordering wine and cheese. They're like right next to the pit. They get the. That's like a premium table. All the tables around there are kind of nice tables.
It's
So
Floon and Rainier.
You see the Minotaur, and he says, what do Minotaurs speak anyways? Abyssal. They're probably not talking Abyssal to each other right now because they're in public. And one of them says, yeah, I don't think the orcs are... I'm sorry, he says, I don't think the goblins are gonna be much match. And he looks over and says, I'll get in on that bet. He yells back at Nostogamus. He comes walking over this way. He looks at Ember. He's like, I hope things don't get too rough for you, fella. And he walks past. Up to, like, right towards these orcs, right? This waitress is out of the way. The orcs look like, they don't like the Minotaur. Like, they nudge each other. You can get that quick impression. Alright, so the goblins are doing their thing. The bandits, the bartender is, you see him, like, reaching down underneath the bar. Carl, you might notice, like, the hilt of a crossbow being fumbled with underneath the bar. That's your vantage up there. So the orc that, he comes over and he slaps his 50 silver pieces down on the table. Right? That's what it was, 50 silver pieces?
Yeah.
So he's like rummaging through a bag with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a copper. It wasn't so, like slap like it was a $50 bill. He's like, it's like $1, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he loses count a couple times.
It's just 5 gold. It's just 5 gold.
Squall looks over and says, it's just 5 gold. He's like, oh, 1, 2. He pulls out gold. 3. Why didn't he say that?
Because he's drunk.
And us Minotaur's the one that he's talking to. He's all right for right now. Nothing's really gotten out of hand. Nothing gets out of hand till the lizard folk show up.
Oh, fuck. Add lizard folks.
Had lizard folks. So the lizard folk stand up onto the bar. And Scuzzer, that's your turn. Oh, and they, what do the lizard folks have for weapons? Clubs, javelins, and they have a shield. So they strap these shields on their arm. That takes their action, and then they climb up onto the freaking bar, and they pull out javelins and clubs. They're like, they look like they're ready to kill people. You don't know. They don't look like they're in for a bar fight. They look like they're going to defend their nest. If we've got any nature lovers out there.
But they don't do anything else. They just Coyote Ugly it for right now.
Well, in their 6 seconds, that's all they actually could do. But yeah,
Right up on a bar.
Coyote Ugly it.
So I think Scuzzer's going to take a big drag of his pipe there and pick up his mug of ale and on over here to talk to this poor fella who got his backpack stolen. And say, are you gonna let them ugly orcs bitch you like that? They just took your shit and you're gonna sit there? Unbelievable.
He's like, well, I'm not just going to sit there. I'm going to pay you to go kick his ass. How much money do you want?
He's gonna laugh at him. I don't think you got enough money to give me. It's not worth my time. Then he's
What,
gonna.
you don't think you could kick
Come
his
on over
ass?
here and-
I think you could kick his ass. Here's 10 gold. Says you could kick his ass.
He's gonna lounge in the chair over here and watch what happens.
20 gold. As you start walking away. 50 gold. And the orc's getting insulted. He's like, hey, you don't think I'm worth 50 gold? As you go plop down in the chair. Anything else?
I tell the orc he's not worth my time.
What is that supposed to mean? Not worth your time. He's like a shorter, kind of intellectual looking one with a
Well,
with a crossbow hanging off his hip.
I want you around when it's all over to pay my buddy.
That's all he can do. He can just talk. I think we
And
ran
that's
out
all
of.
because
I
of
think
his-
we ran out of talking. Squall. So yeah,
50
you can.
gold, huh?
Yeah, dazzling pale blue legs. 50 gold. He's got his bag. He's like, he's got my bag. That goes for any of you fine gentlemen over there. 50 gold. The orcs are like, well, ain't that just sweet? They've got their own mercenaries.
He ain't even got 50 gold because the orc took it.
No, it's like a shopping bag. Like he's got some travel mugs and a shot glass. The yawning portal, a little set of dice in there.
His T-shirt.
He says 50 gold, and Squall's like, you know what? I'll take you up on that. I'm all
I mean, you
right
saw
over
him
here.
just take the guy's bag too,
Well, he's offering to pay me 50 gold to get it back. So
He's like
I want to
he's still looking in this bag as you come up. He's like, wait your turn, wait your turn. This is my bag. Looking you up and down.
The orc said that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at him
How tall is
and
Squall? Big boy.
Squall is. I don't think he's real tall. 6
This
foot.
this guy's like 6. He's not that tall either. He's like 6'4", 6'5". He's a little bit taller. So you look up at him and he's got 2 tattoos on his face like this, and they're in the form of like tusks because he doesn't have any tusks, so he's had them tattooed
Really?
on him.
So somebody snipped your tusks, did they?
He's like, my
Couldn't handle it.
my tusks are ceremonial now. I forgot what his voice was, so I lost it.
Ceremonial. Well, I tell you what. Squall looks at him and says, "Grovel."
What's that smoke? And he gets down on his knees and he says, please, please.
And I'm going to take the bag out of his hands and turn it around and hand it to this person. And I'm going to say, okay, give me 50 gold pieces.
But you didn't kick his ass. But that's worth 50 gold right there. It starts laughing at the orc. He's like, that's not funny. And like goes for his weapon.
Oh, does he? Okay. Well, I'm going to, just move right over there to that table. And I think I will bonus action spiritual weapon right beside him. Someone guessed that.
What, did you not target him? Here, I'll drop it on him. There you go. Whap!
There'll be a spiritual weapon right there. I don't know how to use the. What? I just drag a token out there.
Yeah.
Campaign maybe.
Well, go ahead and roll damage. I'll grab a token. Well,
Okay.
spiritual weapon token.
Yeah.
See, I guess if you would have updated that mod,
I did update the mod. Oh, if he would drag the spiritual weapon over, it
drag
would
the
probably be
new
on
the
there.
new spell coding over.
It would probably be on there, I would guess. All right, so you whack this guy upside the head with the thing.
Yeah, and I'm done.
All right, so before we get too deep into this fight, are we is this bar fight damage?
Yeah, this is
All right,
non-lethal. I'm
so
not looking to kill anybody in here.
and that's how I'm trying to approach this with everybody right now is it's bar fight damage. All right? I mean, we may be using their weapons and stuff, but we need to for role-playing purposes add that flair in that we're not
Okay,
trying to kill.
so I make my spiritual weapon appear, and he goes to reach for his weapon, and that hammer comes down and slams him in the hand. Don't go there.
He's like and he growls. It's not his turn though. It's Ember's turn. Damn, look at all the people in the combat tracker.
So Ember's gonna say, "Pardon me. Perhaps we could finish afterwards." And one of the goblins with the frosted pink beard is all of a sudden just gonna turn. It's almost like there's two of them as it jumps and starts attacking the guy next to him.
What is it? I zoned out for a second. Say it one more time.
So I'm going to be casting Phantasmal Force, and one of the goblins is going to come and attack the clean orange right leg.
I love some of these names.
So an illusionary goblin jumps out and takes a swipe at clean orange right leg.
Yeah, it's like the frosted pink beard there sort of charges at him. There it is.
The Minotaur doesn't let you through his space, by the way. He's like, "Wah."
Okay, then I will.
So
step
you,
over
I
here,
mean,
then.
you could go around him and get over there if you want, but he's like, "Rrr." You got enough move 5, 10, 50, 20, 25,
I'll step
30.
over here by the trolley,
Oh, okay.
and it slams into the clean orange right leg.
Nice. He thinks that hits him. Painted ears. Looks and sees clean orange right leg. Like, like jerk back like he's been punched by the goblin. The goblin's like looks at him like I didn't do nothing, because only he can see the illusion, right? Or does everyone see it? It's just the guy you're attacking with it, right?
It takes root in the mind of a creature, correct?
Yeah. So everybody
they
else
see it.
don't see this. They just see him jerk back, and the goblin's like, I ain't do nothing. He's got that look, but this guy don't care, and he like steps up and tries to like punch the freaking goblin in the side of the head, like, hey, that's my buddy there, and like misses and hits the door, like left-handed punches the door next to the goblin. He kind of moves back a little, and this goblin runs under the table and like tries to swipe his feet from out from under him. And connects, like grabs his leg and starts biting on the bandit's painted ears leg, like rah, rah. The guy's like kicking at him. Ah. This Minotaur moves over to the pit. He looks in the pit. He looks around. He looks like he wants to hit something. He's just like, nothing to hit. So the bard gets to go. So the bard is going to tell a joke about the bandits' moms. And is going to cast invisibility on himself. And try to hide. Like, jumps back under the table. You hear him. I guess you hear him move. Oh, I'm getting under the table. Oh. The unruly mustache bandit jumps up on the table and picks up a mug and chucks it in a random direction. He's like slinging it around and lets go of it, and it flies and hits the Minotaur over next to Ember, right in the horn, like shatters on his horn.
Oh shit.
And he turns and looks at the guy, and he starts laughing. And he moves over and grabs the guy off the table. And they start running this direction as he looks like he's going to throw him into the pit.
Look how
The guy-
Krell.
Yeah, they're like, Ember's like right there too. They're kind of reaching over Ember to get, he's like, I guess he's more like in this square.
I'll cut my hands to give him a boost.
Yeah, it's like he's got to clear the rope that's running out. That's why he's on this side of it. And the guy's like, "Don't you do it! Don't you do it, Mr. Snigger! Don't do it!" Distress Snigger is the guy's name, so they know each other.
Gonna shoot him into the bucket.
So this orc over here stands up, and she's curvy. She's curvy. You can tell it's a female now that she stands up, and she pulls her cloak
Hey,
down,
baby.
and she says, "I want you to make me beg like that." And Wings
Well, let me get a room.
a mug at Squall. She like flings a mug at Squall, and it like smashes on the ground next to his feet.
George Bush shoe dodging.
She's like, "Make me beg like that." And this bandit, "That's my buddy," and he comes over and he just starts like grabbing at the Minotaur, like, put him down, you're gonna throw him in there, don't mess around, there. And Ember, since you're like right there and all these people are crowding around you, give me a Dex saving throw. Oh, all right. So you're like kind of gotten pinned in here, like right on the edge. I mean, you're like you're teetering. You haven't fallen in, but you're like crammed in here, pinned in here, by this little commotion that's going on. You know what I mean? And the bouncer is going to start making his way over here, and he gets stopped. He stops and whispers or gives some instructions to this barkeep girl here, and she starts heading towards the front door. You think it might be get the cops, you know that kind of exchange. And you see him. He comes up and he is drawing out his short sword. Like he's got it in his hand, like it's like a billy club kind of looking short sword. And top of the round is Scuzzer. All right, so things have started into a little bit of a brawl here.
Yeah, I hate to hit a girl, but
You saw her throw a mug at your buddy.
yeah, I think Scuzzer's gonna come over here to this guy here.
The one with the tattooed tusks. Dazzling pale blue legs. He's like,
And he's gonna smash his hand with the belaying pin.
his other hand?
Yeah.
He's like holding his hand and you come up and you're like, whap! He's like, ouch, 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 ouch. Drops his
Should put him
weapon he's
out.
holding. Did he go down?
And then
Oh, he does. He's like,
Yeah.
ow, ow. He falls onto the ground.
He
He's
goes
like, oh,
down
he's
for the
holding his
pain.
arms.
and then he's gonna look at the curvy orc over there and tell her she really shouldn't throw things at people. And that'll be the end of his turn.
So the goblins. So this goblin sees that goblin under the table, grabbed a hold of that guy's ears, and he tries to do the same thing. He or legs. He tries to get a hold of him. He goes scrambling. He gets under the table. He's like moving around over here, but can't get a hold of that guy. Krell, you're like, I don't know. Suddenly, you have the urge to poop. I don't know. Suddenly, you could poop
I
right
have
now.
the. Okay. Well, I am
Do-
gonna swing by. Let's say to here, so I'm close and I can help Ember if I need to. And I am going to knock out this bandit unruly mustache with my whip. I am going to whip him on his leg and hopefully upset him and knock him out.
The one that's getting chucked?
Well, I'm trying to keep him from getting
Chucked.
chucked. Not
Gonna
I
like
figure if he's
Indiana
knocked out,
Jones
he's like-
style his leg or something?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
So
so
give
I'm gonna-
him a whip. Whip his ass. Whip him real good. All right, so you get a hold of him. Actually, give him the help action.
All right.
So you're helping him.
What was his name?
It's
Unruly
unruly
They
Mustache.
spend a lot of
mustache.
time with wings.
Yeah, so your belt goes like your whip goes like right around his waist, like does a little sting to him, and he looks back at you, and he looks down, and this he's like, I bet 5 gold you don't make it out alive, and you look down in there, and you can see torchlight way down there.
Yeah, heights don't bother me so much.
No, but do you think the fall would kill this guy?
Right. Which is why I want to
And
get
then you
him out
do
of the way.
and then you do the math. You're like tensile strength of whip. You know, you're doing it in your little bird brain. I'm flapping with my wings, and then you recall carrying the guy that you killed up in the pirate tower thing, and how heavy he was. And you look down at this guy, and you're like, I don't think he's that heavy. As heavy, you can carry him for a little bit. You know, you're doing the calculations in your head.
Not the Minotaur, but the little guys, yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking, and then there's a flash if the Minotaur goes in and you're whipped and he's holding that guy, you're like, uh-oh. But the Minotaur doesn't look out of balance yet. Oh, it's Unruly Mustache's chance. Well, this boy's he's gonna try to get out of his grip, so he's going to roll an athletics check at advantage. Nice. So yeah, so he like slips loose and of the guy's grip. So he's up in the air, right? And he puts his feet down onto the Minotaur's like horns, and he like pushes up, and the Minotaur lets go. So he like kind of standing up onto the Minotaur's head, and then he looks and he leaps, and you still got the whip around him, which kind of helps him catch his balance. And he attempts to grab a hold of the rope there. That's the bucket kind of winches down into. And let's see if he. Yeah, so he just kind of swings over and lands on the ground on this side, kind of like a pirate would a little bit. He like his style looked kind of swashbucklerly a little bit as he lands on the ground. You still have him grappled though with your whip if you want.
Nah, I don't want to hold on to him.
Okay. And he's like, "Well, ain't you the little slippery one?" And I think he has like a charge. Yeah, so he backs up and stomps his foot on the ground and lowers his horns down. He's like and charges Handlebar Mustache Guy and Ember and Unruly Mustache Guy. But the way I'm going to do this is he's going to get through the first guy to get to the second guy. So he comes barreling up, not that guy, the big guy, and charges into Unkempt Handlebar Mustache, who drops down and kind of trips him up a little bit, kind of gets under his leg, and the Minotaur starts flying even faster forward. And Ember, you're are you still kind of out of balance a little bit from before?
Can I choose to fail this?
You can definitely jump backwards out of the way. Is that what you're thinking? Just like
Yes.
just
Jump into the pit.
well, let's see if you succeed, then you have some options here. So you don't. So he's barreling over you, but you instead of taking the barrel, you just turn and just kind of drop into the pit. Like, do you hold your nose or?
I'm holding a scroll actually.
So you turn, or he
Oh,
turns
I'm going
around
to use.
Krell, and you can see him. He's got a scroll in his hands as he starts to fall into the pit.
I'm using Featherfall as a reaction.
And let's see if this guy. Oh, that guy does not get out of the way. As oh wait, I did that wrong. That goes on the Minotaur. As the Minotaur gores this guy. So he comes charging in, the other guy like ducks and rolls out of the way. Ember turns and just kind of dives into the pit out of the way, and this guy's like falling because he thought he was going to have some resistance to the first two guys, and just totally plows into Unruly Mustache as Sirenscape crashed. And let me see if he can even try to.
So as I'm falling, I'm casting Featherfall on these 5 people.
That ought to be fun. And that's all he can do, right? Oh, so he catches like the lip of the portal, right? It's like a little wooden thing that goes around it, and it catches most of his weight, and you can hear like as he's dangling from it, kind of trying to hold on, like. And you cast Featherfall on him. Well, he doesn't know he's got Featherfall on him, right? Do they have to be willing?
No, it says 5 creatures. Choose up to 5 creatures within range.
It doesn't say 5 willing creatures, so your bitch is Featherfalling. Can you do that to somebody flying to Featherfall? Now you're falling it.
They're not really falling, but I guess you could.
Just make it hard to land.
So this guy comes running over, and Fashionable Blouse is not friends with Unruly Mustache. So is he going to save him or is he going to push him? I think he pushes. So he comes over and starts stomping on the Minotaur's fingers. And hits. The Minotaur just grits his teeth and holds on. And his buddy turns. And moves over and takes a swipe at Handlebar Mustache. Oh, and like totally whacks him upside the head. Like, I mean, just smashes this guy into the ground. Like, poof, the guy's like unconscious. It's like, falls to the ground. Oh, wait. Was that guy supposed to go?
He was unconscious, but falling slowly.
Oh, that's right. He was supposed to come off. He's unconscious. He's out of the fight. Inadequate, unreliable voice. So that Minotaur can't talk. So, Frosted Pink Beard. This is a guy who thinks he's a badass, right? He already smacked this guy once, so he comes running up and tries to do it again. He's like, and he connects. He's like, yeah! He knocks him down and jumps up and down on him. Punches him in the chest a little. And the bard is comfortable hiding. The lizard folk. Oh, this guy never finished moving. The lizard folk jump down at the barkeep or the bouncer guy. Start clubbing at him. It's like a drive-by clubbing. Oh, he gets hit. Like hit him in the gut. Poof. Oh, this guy doesn't like his buddy getting jumped on. This little goblin's like on top of his buddy, right? And he comes up and he like just takes a wild kick at him. Catches the poor little goblin right inside the side of the head. The goblin like smacks his face and blood goes flying and looks up at him. All dripping blood out of his nose. I did do that to the right guy, right? Yeah, because I got him stacked there. And this guy's got that little guy on his feet, right? And he tries to kick him off. Can't. See, uncivil legwork. Who the hell's that? Oh, that's the orc that's sitting here. Oh, this orc turns around and sees this minotaur all breathing up on him and says, "Perfect opportunity," and takes a swipe at him and misses. He's like, the minotaur kind of ducks out of the way and says, "Oh, a fight." This veteran has got this club, right? And he swings it at the lizardman that's on the bar stool to his left and misses him. He like hops over it and then he spins it back around and takes a swipe at the other one. And he misses both of them. They're like fighting. Well, this minotaur takes a swipe at uncivil legwork because now they're fighting. And that's a hit. So this guy, he like takes his head and he like smashes it into the table. Freaking knocks the guy out. He like just smashes the guy, drops him onto the ground, and then he just steps up to the next contestant, who apparently is Scuzzer or Squall, because he just reaches for the next contestant.
Step right up.
And
Here, approve my movement, Drake, and put me on that square. Thank you.
that guy's not going to do anything. This lizard guy, he just looks around and hisses, like at patrons that are, he's like on the edge of the bar. He's like squatting down. He's got his club out. Yeah. Oh, that's the guy underneath the table. He bites at the guy's leg again. And he misses. Get off of my buddy. Kicks a little goblin upside the face. Right in the eye. Right in his clean eye. Ember. So you're like, finish your casting as a reaction last round. So you just now like, poof, everybody's like catching in.
So I'm going to yell at Krell as I'm starting to fall slowly. Krell, throw me over there. I'm pointing toward the west.
Toss me.
Well, you fall 60 feet, don't you? So
Start
mark
to fall, yes.
Yeah, mark yourself. And Krell is what, 10 feet up or whatever. So you guys need to keep track of where you're at. 60 feet below the surface currently. So minus 60. And that would be whoever else is in the pit. The unconscious guy. Nystagmus.
So I look over at this exchange. It looks like Krell's got Ember, right? All right, Krell's got him. I'm not worried about that. So Nystagmus then takes one of his bottles of wine and walks over to this guy who's bet with him, and like if he's got a cup with him, just fills his cup. And like Nystagmus starts drinking out of the bottle again, and like puts his arm around the guy, and he's found a buddy, right? And like we're just watching all of this go down, just the two of us hanging out here drinking this bottle of wine.
He's like, you ain't put your money on the table. He's just finishing up counting his last 5. His last gold. You haven't put your money on the table there, fella. Oh, thank you for the drink. That's mighty what? Oh, look, somebody's fallen in the pit. He looks a little inebriated a little bit. Not as sober as his buddies are.
And I'll grab some, my silver and throw it on the table too.
Like 50 silver, like 1, 2,
Yeah.
3. Start counting them out.
I'll just do a handful and be like, yeah, that's 50.
A handful of quarters is 50. How many quarters is in a roll? 20?
I'm hoping he doesn't notice.
40.
40? So a roll of quarters. I guess you could in a hand. He's like, a little bit more.
Yeah, you got me. I throw a few more.
So Durin, he tries to this guy standing on the bar stool, this lizard folk, he shoots the freaking club out of his hand, like boom. He sticks a crossbow right in the side of the club, like right into his hands. It rings his hands. He's like, ah. Plus size shirt orc. That's the one hanging out with his buddy Nystagmus. So, he's gonna try to pick your pocket. So let's see.
That'll go over well.
He's like, it's good guy. It's a good guy. Pretty nice fella. Oh, how did my hand get stuck in there? As you clearly notice him, and he notices you notice him, because his
And-
hand like gets caught in your pocket. Like,
Can I just like become sober instantly, like drop it just for a second and look at him and be like, you don't want to do that, friend, and then just go back to being drunk again.
he looks confused. He's like, it ain't that way. I promise you that. He kind of pushes you off of him a little bit. Exciting pants? He's just watching. He's just sitting there on the bar still watching. He's like, this is great. Squall. We're going to stop at the end of the round here. So
Okay.
we went a little over, but
Squall's going to look at this Minotaur and he's going to go, you know what? I got a little test for you. And the first thing he's going to do is whack him with the spiritual weapon.
yeah, he's like
And-
leaning forward like he's ready to get into a fight, and your spiritual weapon comes flying up and nails him in the nose, right in the nose.
Right. And I think I'm just going to take a swing with the battle axe and miss.
So you take a swipe at him and like throw a punch at him, and he like ducks out of the way.
And then before we get any further, he's going to get an op attack from me as I move back this direction.
He will try to trip you up, and he misses.
Awesome.
Stubby leg is. You see him eating some bread back there, trying to stay sober. He's like, when you get that drunk, you just try to eat stuff. You're like, he doesn't know what's going on. Curvy. Well, I think she's gonna attempt. She doesn't like the orc. I mean the Minotaur. So she's gonna give him a big shove, try to push him in. She jumps up, hops up on the table, and lunges at the Minotaur her full body weight. And she's a curvy gal. And misses. The Minotaur ducks, so she jumps up and she jumps at him, and the Minotaur moves, and she is just barely catches hold of the lip of the portal there, so she's just teetering about to fall in. She's leaning over the edge. Her feet are up in the air. She's like, whoa, the wrong move one way or the other, and she's going in. And that's where we're gonna stop. We'll pick this back up next week. Everybody here next week?
Yep.
What do you guys
Good old
think?
bar fight.
Nice
I
bar
like
fight. It's fun. We got some more bar fighting to do, but some of us need to go to sleep. We do.
Yep.
So thank everybody in the chat for sticking around. I know it wasn't very active out there, but all those that did watch and watch this later on YouTube, all 2 of you that watch it on YouTube, thank you. I really appreciate it. It's nice.
Thanks for your hard work, Drake. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you.
Drake.
Yeah,
No,
thanks.
fun times. All right, so let me. Is there anybody to raid?
Rob's still going.
What? He's having a nightmare
Yeah, they're
time.
still going.
I don't know how to do stuff from this setup here. Raid channel, there it is. It doesn't say he's running.
I got them up on the big screen. They're still playing.
Huh. Let's try. Two viewers.
I released my ID All extension for free on the DM's Guild, and 7 people actually paid for it.
I paid for
I
it.
did.
Nice.
Nearly
All right.
50 people purchased it, though.
I thought I raided.
Really?
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's not. It just made me host him, so I don't know. He must be lagging or something.